Hey YouTube, what's up? Ember1205 here. So continuing on my journey of getting my car ready to put away for the winter. I have washed it. I've gotten it dried down real well. Let it sit in the garage overnight for the canvas top to dry up. I went around and I did the TPMS relearn because I had to move the wheels around. If you haven't seen that video, check it out. I have overinflated my tires up to 42 psi using my small 410 portable air pump tire inflator. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. And today the car is back in the garage. It's parked where it's going to sit for the winter. And I'm going to get it connected to the battery tender, take you through what that looks like for me, and get it so that it's going to basically just kind of be taken care of over the course of the winter. There's different ways you can do this. Some people pull the battery, some people don't. I don't. I happen to have an attached garage here right at the house, which is this is now my second year of having this. Up to this point, I was using a storage facility where I didn't have access to power like this. So I'm thankful to be able to plug this thing into a battery tender, let it bring the charge up to where it needs to be, and just let it keep it there all winter long so that come springtime, when I'm ready to take this thing out of storage, it's as healthy as I can expect it to be. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at how I get my car connected up and get it ready for winter with battery charging. All right, this is the tender that I use. I have 3 of these, I believe. These are from Schneider Electric. I've gone through all the details on them. They are a maintainer slash charger. They're not going to do deep cycle or any of that sort of stuff, but they will absolutely charge a rundown battery. I've done it, and then they'll sit there and they'll maintain for you. They are not readily available any longer, I don't believe. I've had the ones that I have now for, I don't know, maybe 10 or 12 years. And again, I have 3 of them. They're all perfectly fine. They work exactly the way I need them to work, and it's all good. But whatever, you can use battery tenders, a really common brand. I actually have a small 3/4 watt or 3/4 amp rather, one little like DC power pack plug looking thing that snaps into the wall. I have one of those. That's a battery tender brand. I have a solar one that's a battery tender brand. For the car, I use this one. So what I've got here is the unit itself has a, I don't know, 4-5 foot cable, which it's okay, but I want a little more. So I use an extension, and I had a much longer one that I had been using, but it turned out it got damaged. Some of my car care chemicals dripped on it and ate through the outer insulation, so I just wasn't going to take a chance. I just tossed it. So I went ahead and I bought a new 12-foot extension, and that's what I have here. This actually happens to be battery tender brand. But I can use this in between the connector end of the tender itself. Let's get that out of here. So I can use that in between this connector. Come on, focus. This connector on the tender. Yeah, whatever. And the corresponding one that it would connect to on the charging clips, right? It's the exact same connector, so it's just going to clip right in and all will be well. And because I'm doing long-term storage here, I'm going to feed this right up through here. And it will go, a little hard to see, but it will go right here kind of above this piece of black plastic. And it'll pop out kind of right here. And that will let me completely close the hood. So I'm going to see if I can do this with the camera running. Wish me luck on this one. Tends to usually be a two-handed job. I use one hand to kind of feed it in and then hold it sort of where I need it while I use the other hand to grab the plug. But let's see if I can do this one-handed. So go ahead and Straighten a small section of this out. Apologize for the jumpy camera work here, but I'm holding my phone in my hand, which is what I'm recording this with. So here you go, I got a section of it straightened. I'm gonna go ahead, feed that right in there. And you can see it right there. So I'm gonna use my leg and see if I can get this where I want it to be and then hold it in place with my leg. Yeah, it's fighting me. Let's try something else. And by the way, I'm doing this without being connected to the tender itself. So there's no power in this. This is a completely dead cable. All right, I'm gonna set you guys down. Gotcha. So that's pretty much it. Now, I'm going to go ahead and pop that. And I will place the positive charging clip on there. Put the negative one on there. Now, I want to show you something interesting. So this is negative, this is the ground, right? So if you trace this wire, you can see that it's the one underneath, right? Touching with my finger. See which connector that is? It's the bare one. Why does that matter? Think about it if it was the other way around. If the positive clip had the exposed terminal and you accidentally were to hit it against bare metal somewhere in the car, you would effectively complete the circuit. You could short something out. So this is smart design, just something I thought I would just kind of throw out there as something to know. Here's my extension. And all I have to do is basically orient this so that it will line up correctly there. And I apologize you can't see this because this is absolutely a two-handed operation. There you go, they're pressed together. I can kind of tuck this down inside, and guess what? All closed up, and yet there's my charging cable, right? My battery tender cable. So let's take this out. I'm going to take the safety cover off here. All right, I moved that to the side shelf. Here's my power cable. Here's my cable that runs to the clips in the car. Got the cover off of this end. You can see right now, just one red light on, meaning that it has power. But I am going to go ahead, I know you can't see it, apologize for that. Again, go ahead and connect this together. There we go, nice and tight. And this changes to where the yellow light comes on, which indicates that it's charging. If the lights start to flash, it means there's some sort of an issue. And then once it reaches a charged state and it's in maintain mode, that middle light will go off, the top light will go on solid, and it will just sit like that. just for posterity, that whole thing is plugged in on that green extension cable into that smart plug. And I have that connected to a home automation system. The goal is that there are different times that things could happen with the car where it draws electricity for some reason, like if I were to operate the top, or maybe lock and unlock the doors. If I were to start it, right, it's going to draw a lot of power, and that is going to throw this into a non-maintaining state. So that particular plug has the capability of monitoring how much electricity is running through it, and I wrote a little routine that watches the level, and if it drops down below a certain threshold and stays there for, let's say, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, I forget what I wrote it for, it'll actually turn the plug off, and it will wait about 5 minutes and then turn it back on. And that completely resets the tender, so it goes right back into proper charging and maintaining mode. So this way here, I don't ever have to think about it. It just takes care of itself. But that's it. My car's connected. The only thing I have left to do at this point is put the cover on it, which is in that bag. And that's going to happen in about an hour. All right, there you have it. Nice and simple. Plugs right in, and I don't really have to give it a whole lot of thought going forward until springtime. As I mentioned in the video, I do have a little wall wart style, let's call it a DC pack type battery tender brand charger and maintainer. This is a 750 milliamp, so 3/4 of an amp, compared to the 1.5 amp larger style that I have. And I inadvertently, incorrectly named this as a Schneider Electric product. It's actually not. It's actually from Schumacher. You can still buy charger maintainers from Schumacher. You just can't buy this particular model. And interestingly enough, after I got all of this stuff connected up and ready to rip, I put it all together, and I came out. And if you look at the lights on the front of this, the bottommost one down here, oops, a little off. This guy shows you that it's plugged in, and then the next one up with the empty looking battery there, that should come on amber and stay on amber while it's charging. And if that starts flashing, you got a problem. Well, guess what? Mine started flashing. So interestingly enough, I took my battery tender brand and I swapped it in. So if you remember, I showed you how these plugs are all pretty interchangeable. They're pretty standardized. So I swapped it in. And once I did, I let it go ahead and kind of kick in and do a full charge on the battery. And once I did, I switched back to the Schumacher, and all was well. So at any rate, how do you keep your battery healthy over the winter? Let me know down in the comments. Like, subscribe, and until next time, Ember 1205 out.